Hey there again. I just wanted to kind of pick up where I left off in the last video. I shared with you all how I had this manifestation, visitation of Christ. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that because I know that's not something that happens every day to everybody. But I will say this, he had been working in my life up until that point, and I didn't realize it was him. And when I realized that it was him, I asked him, I said, will you just come back one more time and talk to me in the form of a man so that I can know that it's you and spend time with you? And he spoke very clearly to me 2 days. 2 days later, I ran into an old friend that I've not seen in many months, who through a series of events ended up asking me to spend some time with him talking, and we went to a bookstore and just talked about Jesus for hours and hours. And I remember just being like in this almost like a trance, not a trance, that's not a good word, just like an innocent fog. Like I didn't realize what was happening until afterwards, really, that the Lord was visiting me. But it just felt so peaceful and good to be able to talk to somebody about the Lord for a long time. And I remember saying that. I remember saying, you know, I can't just talk to anybody about this stuff. I just love this. And we had this long conversation. And when we stayed till the bookstore closed, and then we came back to my house and we sat and we talked for a while. And at that point, I had never felt the presence of God in the sense of like the Holy Spirit, or the glory cloud, whatever you want to call that. But I did that night, very strong. It was very strong. And I remember saying, I feel like we're just in this cloud of goodness. It was so just powerfully sweet. And I kept saying, or he kept saying to me, you know, he was an ex-co-worker. We had worked together. And he said, you know, the thing that I always loved the most about you is that you didn't need a man. And he said that to me about 5 different times. And I kept thinking, you know, why is he saying that? But to back up a little bit, the night that I asked the Lord to come back to me, I told him, I said, you know, I was so tempted at the time. I was a single mother. At the time, I was feeling like very tempted to settle for the wrong guy, you know, because it was scary being a single mother. And I remember telling the Lord, you know, Lord, if you are real, will you please come take care of me? I don't need a man. I just need you. I need to know that you're real, and I need to know that you're taking care of me. And so the night I was there talking with this man, he, about 5 different times, he said, you know, I just love that you didn't need a man. And I remember thinking in my mind, like, why does he keep saying that to me? But it wasn't, I couldn't bring it to the forefront of my brain to actually question it. You know, it was very strange. And so when he got ready to leave, I stood up and we were standing at the top of my stairs, and I was looking at him, and for just like that, it was just like an instant. It was like Jesus Christ manifested, and it's like he came out of this man's face for just a split second, and then went back. And when it happened, I will tell you what I experienced was the most incredible, unconditional love that you could ever imagine. If you have ever felt intense love from someone else, or the love of a child that hugs you and holds you, or just sweet, precious, intimate love with a partner, or that is just a glimpse of what it's like to be in the presence of God. What I experienced in that moment was a few things. One, total unconditional love. I knew that there was absolutely nothing I could ever do to make him not love me. It's like he looked at me with complete rose-colored glasses. There was no condemnation. There was nothing but pure love for me. But on the other side of that, it also felt like he looked completely through me. Like there was nothing hidden. It was like being completely wide open, nothing hidden. And I remember feeling so not condemned by him at all, but by myself, just feeling so awful for it. And it's not that I've lived a horrible life or anything. And I truly feel for people who have done like way worse things in their life than me, but we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And so it was an immediate feeling of, wow, I have let him down, you know? But like I said, it was this powerful, overwhelming, unconditional love from him. And it was such an intense encounter. It reminded me of like, have you ever, as a kid, we did this. I don't know if everybody did this or if I was just mean, but when I was a kid, I remember holding my finger right above an ant. And if you get real close to one, they'll start shaking because the power coming off of your skin, because we're so much bigger than them, I guess. I'm not sure what the science is behind that, but the power will cause their whole body to shake. And that's what it felt like. It was like if I'd stood there in his presence any longer than that dose that he gave me, that split second, it would have crushed me. Like I couldn't, the glory, you know, the Bible talks about his glory, and oh my gosh, it's unexplainable. It's almost like, I think about rainbows, you know, when a rainbow in the sky has like this glistening effect to it. You know, there's nothing we can recreate on earth like that. You know, it's just this glistening effect. And it's almost like that with Christ. It's like it's just glory. It is his power, his majesty, his pureness, it's perfection. And we are so far from that we can't be in that for very long, and which is why he had to come and die for us and give us his spirit. While we will have to have a new body, I'm sure. But I wanted to share with you something too. I remember after that happened, the man left. I went to bed. I literally remember laying down. I was so tired, and I remember laying down still had my clothes on and everything, laid down on the bed, and I remember thinking, you know, why did he keep saying that about me not needing a man? And the next morning I woke up, and it was like immediately I was out of that fog, and I understood everything. I understood that it was Christ that visited me. I understood that, you know, the reason he was saying that is because I had told him that. I said, you know, I just need to know that you are real and that you will take care of me. I don't need a man. I need you. I need you to be my provider, my everything. And so I remember immediately I felt like the Lord, I couldn't remember the man's last name that he came to visit me through. And I said, you know, if that was really you, will you tell me what his last name was? And just like, I just saw it like going across the computer screen, being typed across the computer screen, his last name. And then I saw like a vision of Jesus on the cross, just like I don't know how to explain it. It was just like this vision. And I started boo-hooing, crying. Like I was just bawling for like an hour or two. I could not quit crying. It was so overwhelming that he would do such a thing for me. And I immediately felt like I needed to share it with my sister. And so I called her